Present the Economic Development Authority regular meeting for Wednesday, July 23rd. Yes. Please call roll.
Pokrzywinski.
Yes.
Here.
Stai.
Here.
Grinde.
Yes.
Hecht.
Here.
Horken. Helms.
Here.
All right, approval of minutes for 5/28/25 regular meeting.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right. Let's see here. We're going to move items 6B for Nancy about the Sunshine Terrace rates.
We're starting to prepare our annual budget for 2026. One thing that was asked by the EDA board in the past was to make sure that we're coming forward once a year to just verify that our rent rates are where we want them to be, or if we want to increase them. I just wanted to make note that we did last year approve an increase in our rentals at Sunshine Terrace that came into effect in March of this year. So I wouldn't recommend a rent increase for next year. However, if you are inclined for us to look towards a rental increase, we can go ahead and pull similars from other apartments in the area and again look at a potential increase if that's where you're headed. But right now we do have some open apartments, and I think with just we're 4 months into our current rent increase. I don't foresee a reason to increase them for 2026 and then review again next year for a potential rate increase in 2027 based on where we're at right now with our renters and if we lose any, those types of things. So.
Do you want a motion?
Mr. Helms has got it.
Did you lose any because of the rent that went up just in March or not?
We did not.
Okay.
But we are losing some for other reasons where they're being dropped off of housing, and without housing assistance, they're not able to afford our rent. Some we have put on a payment plan, but I don't know realistically if that's something that we can do with more than one or two unique circumstances. So, and I think just with the climate right now, not knowing how housing, Medicaid, Medicare, because it is a senior and disabled apartment complex, I think we need to wait to see how funding and those types of things shake out before we look at a rental increase. We are still, if you look at our budgets, while it looks like we may be running a deficit, we are not. We're still putting money into the account based on the depreciation that, is included in the budget. So, and we just we've had to do some major renovations in the past, and now we're kind of on track for just normal types of work that's budgeted, so.
When you say that people that are coming off assistance aren't able to afford our rent, but our rent isn't out of line where it's something like they're feeling pushed out because we're right in line with everything else, correct?
Right. We're in line with other apartments.
They were, if I understood it right, they got taken off of assistance.
Yeah,
not-
so like she said, if they're
Which makes
coming
it-
off of assistance, so then they can't afford it. But it's not that our rent
That's
is too
not
high,
us.
why they can't afford it.
No, it's just that, with seniors, they're not
circumstances.
necessarily, it's income or driven, like what income they're bringing in.
So my only
So-
question with that is that I know that we adjusted our rent looking at other factors and where other people were. If it is a senior living and different type of facility like that, do we need to look to do it the other way? Do we need to drop rent to make it affordable? If somebody is coming off of assistance and then they can't afford it because of that, we can't go completely in the hole on the building and on rent, but
And again, that would be something that we should maybe look at, as things are changing, because we don't really know effects right now. Some of the people that are coming off of housing assistance are for other reasons. We haven't seen the effect of how things are going to shake out, so I would say let's wait that full year of that rental increase and then start looking again next year, you know, how that year's worth of rent has affected, if we have in fact lost tenants, or, you know, with the new year, how that's going to go. So.
I'm just hoping that our increase isn't going to hurt people like that we just recently did. And
Yes.
I know it was justified based on what we looked at, but if we can lower it a little bit, and if that does help somebody to be able to stay there, and the building can still be profitable, I think that's something that, like you said, maybe we need to review that in a year.
I think so.
Yeah, and I agree with you not to raise it, but yet we can't
Yeah.
lose money. I mean, we're not a charity either.
We will be looking, and I shouldn't say we'll look after a year, we will be looking at the start of the new year,
Correct.
because we run a one-year lease, so we'd want to make sure that we're addressing it or looking at things in the beginning of January, so that if we do in fact change things, that we can meet those notification timelines. So,
Do you have to have everybody at the same rent? Can like new renters come in higher and then the people that are currently there stay at the same rate?
No, it's
No.
discrimination.
Okay, I just was wondering, because if they can be mixed or not, so.
yeah,
all
no,
the
we
same.
can't, it's all the same, and it's
Okay.
based on number of rooms, so.
Yeah, and
Bedrooms.
I recall last time, I mean, the biggest driving force behind this was the increase in expenses for
Correct.
Wages.
renovating a lot of the apartments and just getting them to a better, nicer level, and then just increased costs. So, I mean, if there really isn't much change and there's nothing that we see coming down the line, I don't see the point in raising the rent either at this point in time. But
And the last time it was the cable increase, wasn't actual
Yeah.
rent, it was cable.
There was rent this year, it was cable
it was
last year.
cable, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that does help pay for,
But we redid
Some of the utility and cable
floors and
costs.
stuff in that, didn't
we are currently.
Yeah.
And that.
That was part of it.
Yep, we had to do quite a few. I mean, we hadn't seen a lot of change, but now we're kind of in a more normalized pattern, you know.
What kind of flooring were we going with this time?
Luxury vinyl.
Okay.
We're pulling out the carpet, it lasts longer, it's easier to maintain, it's easier
Right.
to clean. We can replace boards rather than replacing a full room.
So that'll also help long-term of
Yes.
keeping the costs down.
Yep.
Okay.
So is that something we need to have a vote on?
I think so.
I'll make a motion to leave rent as is.
I'll second.
Please call roll.
Pokrzywinski,
Yes.
Black,
Yes.
Stai,
Yes.
Grinde,
Yes.
Hecht,
Yes.
Helms,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Bills and communication, review of accounts payable, June 3rd, June 17th, July 1st, July 15th, all of 2025. Whew. Any questions that you may or may not have for Carla or me? Nothing jumped at me when I scanned it
All right, good.
the other night, last night. Looking for approval?
Move.
I don't think we need that on this, do we?
No.
We don't.
Oh, okay.
I thought we,
I thought we had to approve financials.
oh yeah, that's right, it goes to city council.
Oh, that's right, just kidding.
Yep. Okay, reports, delinquencies. We'd love to hear it, go ahead.
There's none. Hooray.
Thank you. Directors' reports.
So it's been 2 months since I think we've met, so that's why this looks very long. I did the first round of the power visits, like a power hour going out, dropping off information about different programs and thanking businesses for being here. I was able to meet with many, and I broke down each day how many I visited. And then Dale was super helpful and visited 13 businesses with me in July when we did the same round, which was great because he knew a ton of people and he knew where the businesses were located and what ones were available and stuff. So been getting out and saying hello. And then there's been a lot of work that's being done with different small residential developers in terms of applying for state funding. So I've helped be a little intermediary to help connect them with the tech assistants to better understand the programs and to help with, what are they asking for and then what are some of the goals that we have in the community. So that's been going really well. And hopefully people can get their applications in, and if they aren't, funded, we can at least get some feedback for better application rates in the future. But lots of different getting out and about, and it helps that it's been nice out, so it's a little easier to drive around, and people tend to be more available instead of, I'm called out because there's a blizzard.
All right, thank you. Financial reports. Carla.
Thank you. Excuse me. We shared with them May and June reports, each account separately, and then in the packet there is the cash account as of June 30th. We just did the one since it's more up to date, when really it's same kind of activity in May, so we just included June. So if there's any questions on those, or anything I can answer, as you can see, we did include the discretionary loan fund that was voted on last year, has $61,000 in it.
Any questions for Carla?
Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Looking for a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve.
You don't have to approve the financials?
Do we approve financials, though? I thought that went to
I thought we
city
did.
council.
Yes, we have to approve it because it has money.
That's what I thought too.
I'll make the motion to approve it then.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Good move. Social media report.
Okay, so you'll see the page with the pictures and the squiggly lines. One side is the posts and the other side is the stories. So overall, our content is doing really well. We're getting a ton of followers. We've got multiple businesses that have been sending over their profiles, which has been really good. And then for the stories, those have a short shelf life of about 24 hours. So if a business is having, an East Grand Forks business is having, say, a bake sale or, the Catfish Days, I'll just hit share to our story, so then it gets extra views for people that like that short form content. And I try to be judicious and only do ones that are specific to East Grand Forks, so that way we can share that content to our East Grand Forks residents. And the pictures, or I guess the posts that have family pictures in them, Brenda knows have been doing exceptionally well. They get thousands, like 5-figure views and interactions, and typically people share them, which is the goal, so then we can get great traction. Penny's been doing an amazing job liking and commenting on our posts.
You're highlighting so many good small businesses that don't have budgets for advertising, and it's
Right.
really nice to see.
Well, yeah, and thank you, Brenda, because nobody really got any publicity previous, and now it's really gaining traction.
Yeah, I go through them all and then start again.
It's creating a happy place.
Yeah, I mean, I know you were in with Tech Guru and Click by Ann, and I think Ben, you had the yoga, I think you've been
Yeah.
in there. It's great. These are personal stories, and they really appeal to me.
Good.
To the people, yeah.
And it also gets picked up by the Exponent, which is really nice that they do that for no charge for us. So it just helps get kind of two audiences, people who are online and those who read the paper.
Sure. All right, moving on to unfinished business, grant requests update.
Okay, on the executive summaries, I just gave a quick synopsis of the 3 that we've worked on. The housing tax credit RFP, that one was done through an external company in town that was looking to put in an application, but given the difficulty of the application and the extensive requirements, they're just going to put in a practice application essentially to get feedback, because we had multiple tech assistance sessions with them, and it's a lot. So we'll get some feedback on that one. The NOAA program, there is a startup in town that is applying for that, and I've also assisted kind of some of the tech assistance coordination with the state on that. That one would be to help the affordable housing that already exists, kind of do some renovations and make sure it's still, a quality place to live. We applied for that Fortify grant from the Minneapolis, Minnesota Foundation. They had 600 applicants to it, so our little ask did not get any traction for childcare programming, but we'll just keep asking, and then eventually something will come through.
Excellent. All right, any questions for her on that? Okay. All right, move on to BCEZ WSI credits.
Okay, Border Cities Enterprise Zone program that we have, we're one of 5 communities that offer this, and we met with the loan committee and we discussed the best way to include the use of the workers' comp credits as part of our program besides the property tax that we do and the sales tax reduction that we do. So this is another avenue of utilizing those credits. We did receive our annual allocation, which is wonderful. I think it was like $103,000. So we want to keep at least a baseline of $100,000 in there in case that white whale comes to town, and we want to offer as many incentives as we possibly can. But the committee seemed to be interested in keeping the cap similar to our lending policies and our current Border Cities one of that $149,900. And we talked about having it go up to a max of the 50% of the cost with consideration towards what the risk class is. So some are going to be a higher price because they are more risky, maybe doing welding, and others are going to be a little less risky due to being like an office worker. So thanks to Justin for offering good insight on that, because I would have not considered that. So any questions on that?
Are we determining the risk class, or like how are we
It's just
taking?
based off of their work comp.
It's going to be, okay. I just want to make sure that we're not looking at any of that. Perfect.
Let them score them.
That was my thought. That was my.
We didn't want to set like a limit based on something to say somebody comes in and asks for credits, or the limit is this much, and then we end up paying for 100% of their work comp premium.
Right.
So that's why we're capping at like how much we'll do, but then up to like 50%. So we're not, all of a sudden, somebody only pays $3,000 for their work comp and then we're paying the full bill for it.
Yeah, no,
They're
that
being
makes sense.
reimbursed for the full amount.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think that's a smart way to do it.
Whereas
so.
like a roofer is definitely a higher risk class, so their work comp payroll per $100 of payroll is a lot higher than an office employee.
Right.
All right, looking for a motion to approve those new rules and regulations.
I'll make a motion to approve that program.
I'll second it.
Please call roll.
Pokrzywinski.
Yes.
Black.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
Grinde.
Yes.
Hecht.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Oh.
All right, moving on to new business. Gap loan applicant, NP Hometown Properties.
All right, and we have Paige Grinde here and Mark Yana from Alaris Bank to help present on this topic. This is my first GAP loan application, so please be patient with me while I muddle my way through. But I presented the staff report on it. So we have a request from the EDA for $75,000 assistance to purchase the current building they're in, which would help retain 2 existing businesses in town. The loan committee felt this was a perfect use and the goal of our GAP funding, as we want to retain jobs and businesses in the community. And I think there was one amendment that they wanted to make in terms of the owner's equity, perhaps.
Yes, the owner's equity will be 5% instead of 10% of this project. So there'll be a 5% injection and then the fees on top of that. So then they had to bring less down. We're able to do that because of this EDA GAP loan program.
Oh, sure. So that says it right there.
Yeah. So the loan committee's approved it, so the next steps would be to answer any questions on this and then seek approval from the board.
Any questions for the committee or Paige or Mark? Looking for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Please call roll.
Pokrzywinski.
Yes.
Black.
Yes.
Stai.
Yes.
Grinde.
Yes.
Hecht.
Yes.
Helms.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Congratulations.
Thanks for your time, too.
Yeah. Good luck on your adventure. Yeah. Thank you again.
Thank you all.
All right, we did that one. Grow Minnesota Programs Update.
Okay, so on that executive summary sheet, it just gives that quick overview, but we've done 2 visits so far. The chamber program ran from mid-April to, I believe, mid-May, but that didn't align with some of the people in the group who are offering this program locally, so we have shifted it from June to September. And we have about, I think, 16 to 18 businesses that were picked by the administration in the city hall to visit, which are our larger companies, just to kind of get a pulse on how things are doing. And from what I understand, you guys we've done this program for multiple years in a row. So the cool thing is, the survey that was given out by the chamber through this Grow Minnesota program is a HubSpot product, so I recognized it, and then I made a copy so we can also submit their data, but we can also put it inside of our own CRM and do modeling and kind of look for trends year over year, which I get super excited about data tracking. And we can kind of look for long-standing issues and then make either programs or supports or resources to help fix some of these issues that are coming up. But so far the visits have been good. Staffing, from what we understand, has not been a problem and tends to be staying stable. Some of the issues that we've heard back so far are kind of things that you'd expect: higher cost of business, materials are more expensive, insurance is up, utilities, things that are kind of beyond our control. But from what I presume, most companies in the U.S. would probably be experiencing a similar sort of situation. So more to update on this later, and from what I understand, we will do a presentation, I think, for the board and then for city council, so probably in the fall.
Any questions for Maggie on the budget request? The only one I got is you feel comfortable?
Oh, on the budget one?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I feel like a 4% decrease is probably manageable. It's in the back
Okay.
here. Some of the numbers too, they look like we took a huge amount out, but what I did was I just pushed them. Yeah, because I feel like if we want to be more present and available, we'll need to put more towards marketing and promotions. And then I don't do nearly as much traveling or have professional memberships as the previous director did. So to me, that's not something of interest. I'd rather divert my efforts locally. And if I need to make meetings with people out of town, I can just do a Teams meeting or something.
And I think that's the right thing, and that's kind of what the mayor asked and
Yeah.
Reed, and, yep, I agree with you.
Did anything stick out in this budget that looked questionable? On the 281, I don't really work too much directly with this one, so Carla might have better answers on this one. I kind of just copied the same numbers, and then I think the past 4 years where the utilization rates were lower, I just dropped it a little bit.
Anything jump out?
280 fund is mainly just the selling of the lots, and then there's professional fees with that to the realtors and for closing. And then we also had the fees for mowing, which so the less lots we have, the less mowing we have, so.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the more rain we have, the more we have to mow.
Yeah, and the miscellaneous revenue is basically been the payback of those incentives, which that 10-year period is pretty darn close, so, you know, if you weren't in that home for 10 years, then you had to pay it back, a $5,000 incentive, which that's come, should be almost done, the 10 years should be lapsed. And the only other thing in there is that we still do the $500 for new homeowners for the beautification or landscaping of their homes. So that's basically a nutshell of everything in that account. But we also do pay, that's where the rebates come out of. So that's really all of it.
Perfect.
Any questions or anything for Carla or Maggie on that? All right.
Do we need approval for sending to council? Do we
Yes,
need-
please.
Okay.
I'll approve.
I'll second.
Budget.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign?
So if you want to know the budget process, so what we'll do is we do a preliminary levy for the
Right.
general fund, which is due at the end of September. So we look at the budgets, we'll start discussing them in August, so we'll present this with that. And this, both considering the general fund and the special revenue fund. So that's part of the whole general fund and the levy discussion. And then we have to have a final into the state by the end of December. So we usually try to get that vote in by the second meeting of December to vote, just so you know what the process is for the budget.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if anybody wants to adjourn, but
I'll make the motion.
One thing real quick, did you find anything more on that lot?
Yes, so, and I was going to ask that after the meeting.
Because I don't think that we can split those
there,
two.
Apparently, yes.
we can, but we'll end up owning it forever is what I remember.
We'd sent over the buildable lot, and I think it's like 9,800 square feet. Sorry, 9,485 square feet, which I was told that is buildable for a house and a garage. And it would basically kind of navigate the 30-foot easement for the gas lines that go on the north, like vertically, and then the east to west.
But will that,
But I didn't think we could have another access on the 23rd.
Correct.
Remember
It wouldn't be
that?
on 23rd because it's addressed for Pebble Beach, is what I was told. So they'd have to drive.
Both of them?
they basically
Both-
would share a
both lots.
driveway, I think, wouldn't they?
No, not that.
Which
Well,
lot are we
no,
talking
I mean,
about
I
The
now?
one that you
The one
made
you-
comment,
yeah.
they're like, oh, maybe I should buy that one when we combined them.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
on the corner
Yeah.
of Pebble and
So we
23rd.
want to separate them again now? Because I thought that was the issue is there would be a shared driveway. And that was unappealing to
That
people.
and because of the easements that would be on it for that gas line,
The one
Yeah,
that,
'cause when
that
we-
you wouldn't make the
that sits
the
on
square footage
23rd, I don't think
requirements.
that was very buildable, but you could use the lot off of Pebble Beach and that lot to build if you were building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when we had talked about it, it was one of those things where it was.
Water's Edge second?
It's in the first. It's lot 10 and 11
Yeah.
on the corner of Pebble Beach and 23rd.
Well, and I remember that, and then I'm just going through my mind
Oh, that's
on
scary.
the square footage requirements on
The home.
the home itself
Would
built
not
over there. I mean,
qualify.
I think you can put something over there, but I think it gets,
You know,
Covenants.
you could build in the middle of those two lots a house
Yeah.
that, you know, so it's buildable that way, but I think that lot alone that's set on 23rd, I thought there was entrance issues because we only got so many
Exactly.
entrances off of 23rd.
yeah, but they're saying they would put the entrance
yeah.
off of Pebble Beach.
It can't
rather
be
than
off 23rd because it's not addressed for
They would
23rd.
have had to been shared entrances, basically.
Because we did that with
Yep.
other ones, we did a shared entrance on 23rd.
And.
We looked at this
and
quite
when you-
extensively.
With the easements in which you got to set back for on that gas line, the home would not meet the,
Right,
what's,
the square footage
Covenants.
covenants.
covenants, there you go.
Yep.
But why don't you, if you're truly considering that, why don't you have WIDSET actually put together
A model.
Yeah.
a diagram where the easement is, where the potential driveway would be, and the square footage of a home that could go on that lot, so you got a visual instead of everybody guessing on
Yeah,
what we did.
Because that's what I remember. And that's
because I think,
basically what I replied to you too, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think, like Josh, you're right, that if we split them back up, we're gonna be sitting with a lot that we're
That's-
never gonna be able to sell.
Correct.
We couldn't.
And we have to mow it and maintain it, so.
So if they want to buy this lot that has the easement and the gas lines running through it, is there interest in reducing the price from the 69,000?
We did
Already.
drastically when
Okay.
we combined them.
Yeah, when we combine, yeah, because that one was a lot lower.
But I'd like to see this mock-up model again, just to give us, because, I mean, that's been 3 years, 4 years?
3 years, yeah. The 3 years was last, I mean, I had to drive by there to take a look at what we were talking about before we
And then,
finalized
and then we
anything.
could look back into it, because back to it, I think we did reduce it. And, you know, we can discuss it further.
Okay.
But I'd like to see the mock-up. And, because, I mean, I get it what these other people want too, but I don't want to give a lot away to end up with another lot.
Right.
That we can never sell.
Exactly.
Because if I recall, we reduced it because we assumed that the buildable portion of that was going to be reduced
Big time.
by quite a bit. So there's already a reduction in that lot. I just don't remember exactly how much it was, but it was quite, it was
It would have
more
to
than
be.
we did for,
Yep.
percentage-wise than we did
It'd
for
be
any
a
of the other
shoebox.
properties that we dropped.
Stacked on top of each other to make the square footage. So.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you, because I was asking around, and I'm like, can somebody just give me an answer on
And-
this?
So, I mean, nothing's out of the question, but I'd like to make sure the i's are dotted and the t's are crossed, because that's what I remember, and it seems that's the majority too.
Okay, that helps.
We spent a lot of time discussing that one because it was, when we looked at it, I think that's kind of it's out of the ordinary from all of those lots there. It's not the typical what we've been looking at before with all the
Correct.
other lots. So that one was kind of a special case. So, I mean, I'd be willing to discuss anything, but
Yep.
it'd be
Yeah.
good to see what Woodsett comes up with.
With facts.
Yep.
That makes sense. It also makes sense, too, that they stay combined, because if the future owner would only had that small lot and they wanted to plant trees, then you run into issues with the gas line. You can't plant on it. So that would even limit their use of that property specifically.
Correct.
Would be able to have a pool or, anything permanent over it.
Might even affect the setback to the house next to it.
Correct.
Well, but they have to meet the setback requirements too.
Right. But I mean, they might even have to be
For
farther
everything,
back
yeah.
because of corner, but,
Yeah.
The one thing that seems like it's always a impediment over there is the amount of the special assessments that are still sitting on it. Because that's almost twice as much as the land. Well,
Yeah.
It's
significant
up there.
portion. Yeah.
but at least you have them and not paying the specials now, is the plus of that.
Right.
They're not as expensive as new areas.
Thanks for.
But they're
bringing that
20
back
years
up,
old.
Yeah,
because I was
thank
going to
you.
remember too, but my squirrels in my head were wandering. All right. I'm sure nobody wants to make a motion to adjourn, but I'd like.
I already did
Daniel
technically.
did, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. See you next month.